Okay, here's the driver's side panel that we're going to cut out eventually. Frank's going to chisel out this center strut here because the saber saw won't be able to cut through it because it's too thick. So here he's going to chisel.
Good?
Yeah. Bob's your uncle.
On the inside.
Okay.
Get the bottom.
So Frank's getting ready to put the trim around the window here. I'll show you a close-up here of what the trim looks like. It's got a metal core and coated with vinyl or some kind of rubber coating. So we're going to put the seam, the end seam, right here kind of in the middle of the window, and then work our way around the window, pushing it on and then tapping it with a mallet to set it down. So there we go, the starting point.
Start this way. About roughly in the middle?
Yeah. Up the side. And around. Alright, so in some cases the two pieces of metal are far enough apart it's pretty tricky to get this stuff on, so the thing to do is to bend it, which spreads the two sides of the trim apart, and then you can get it over the spread apart pieces of metal. In other vans, the double wall construction makes it so you put the trim only on the outside layer of metal.
Inside.
Or I'm sorry, the inside layer. But in the Promaster, you put it over both layers because they're so close together. So, a little bit of a struggle here and there, but it'll go on. We've reached the point of origin, and so you want to cut this a little long. There's some shrinkage potentially, so Frank's going to cut it like 1/4 inch long, and then you'll see how to do the very final part here. We've got these kind of cool cutters. Let's see those cutters, Frank. Very nice. Okay, here we go. Deep in the jaw.
You know, I want to cut it from this side.
Yeah, get a good square cut on that thing. All the way in the base of the jaw because it's metal.
Oh, cutting on that too. There we go.
Okay, so now you peel it off a little bit so that you can get the end tucked in there.
Oops. What happened there? Kind of folded itself over somehow.
Okay, just getting the end piece on there.
The mallet.
And then the mallet.
I think I might have made it a little long.
Is it a little long? pull it off and...
What do you think? Yeah.
Hang on a second here. And here's the final seam right there. Turned out just perfect. So Frank's using the vice grip squeegee tool again to attempt to squeeze it down in the areas where the double wall construction is spread far apart.
Well, the other thing is that it acts as a spacer for the glass on the outside. It holds the glass away from the metal about 1/16 of an inch, ensuring that there's a good thickness of the adhesive that's somewhat elastic, because you don't actually want the glass right against the metal. You want a kind of a glue bead or caulk, kind of almost like a caulk adhesive.
All right, so here's a view of the trimmed out opening now. It's looks pretty good.
Oh, guess I wasn't recording. All right, so Jim is applying the precious primer, which they didn't give us very much of. So you have to use it very sparingly, and it's very thin and runny, so you need to wipe most of it off. You know, dip the dabber and then really wipe most of it off on the edge of the container. And you try and do it in one continuous stroke. And we're being careful because we have one more big window to do, and we're on our...
We'll have plenty.
Okay. And then these are big windows, so I think one vertical
Okay.
down where we're gonna, sort of split the difference.
Like here?
Yeah, just a vertical. Good. And the same on the other side.
I'm rotating this brush as I do this to use up what's on the brush. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, Frank's going to apply the urethane sealant for the windows here. And we're going to put the bead right on the primer, which is dried by now. And the idea is to build up the bead so it's taller than the trim, and that way when you push the window down, it'll squish down the tall bead and form a seal. This is really wicked urethane sealant, specially made for the automotive glass industry. Continuing on with the bead of urethane sealant, and what we're looking for is for the bead to stand out higher than the trim piece, because the glass is going to be pushed up against the trim. But before it hits the trim, we want it to be oozing down on this big fat urethane sealant bead. Coming along here, Frank's doing the extra strip along the edge there. That's only to hold the window into place, not to necessarily seal water around the edge. Got two of those vertical beads. Using up a lot of this urethane sealant. And I might mention that this is not an ordinary caulk gun. This is a special
26-to-1 mechanical advantage.
$26 too.
No, well, yeah, that's more.
So
Yeah.
there it is.
Okay.
So here's the window, the outside of the window. Bottom is to our viewer left here. So what we're gonna do is both of us will carry the window over, press it into place, and then apply some tape to hang it at the top so it won't slide or move. All right, so we got the window in place. Couldn't video it while we're both carrying it, but margins look good. So now it's time to put the tape to support it while it's drying. And there it is, installed. Looks factory.